Further south, but still within sight of the North Island, conditions are still a bit soft high above French Pass in the Marlborough Sounds, and T&L driver Grant Pickering needs a bit of a tug to drag his 4-axle trailer into place as the light starts to die off. He's part of a team of 9 T&L rigs assembled to drag 300 tonne of superphosphate to the remote Waitai station on D'Urville Island, and this is as far as the trailers get to go. This shift has already been delayed 3 times due to heavy rain this season, and the clay tracks on D'Urville, together with the precipitous nature of the terrain, means that T&L won't want to put a wheel on the island until it's safe to do so. But it's getting late in the season, and the decision is taken to send the boys in, as this could be the last chance before winter sets in proper. Luck is on their side. By 4:30 in the morning, the nor'westerlies are already kicking in as the barge drops the ramp onto the beach at French Pass, and that means the track should be drying out. A bit of shovel work on the beach, some careful backing, and the first of the trucks back onto the barge and disappear into the darkness. The barge is back in about half an hour for the second bunch, and this sets the rhythm for the day. There'll be another load after that one, and by the time they're over, 3 or so at a time, the first lot coming back won't be too far away. It's going to be a constant toing and froing back and forth across the pass as the trucks are swallowed up by the island. Providing fertiliser to this island has always been a headache. It's remote, hard country that has broken many a man. But the rewards are plain to see, with some marvellous pasture land hacked out of what was once all bush. A 360-metre runway with a 30-metre fall ending at a cliff was built after 1,100 man-hours of work for top dressers to work from in 1958. And for the first 10 years of operation, bagged fert was tracted 27 kilometres from French Pass to the Strip. Back then, Douglas DC-3 Dakota aircraft were used to spread fertiliser 5 tonne at a time from bases at either Blenheim on the South Island or Paraparaumu in the North Island, until the fuel crisis of the 1970s put paid to that. As the sun makes its presence, the wind picks up in intensity and the operation gains momentum as the trucks start heading back for their second loads of the day. Bulk trucks have been pulled in from all over the top of the South Island and West Coast for this operation. The most distinctive truck on the island is Jonesy's Century Class Freightliner, the newest truck in the Rye Valley fleet. Jonesy first climbed into a T&L truck in 1963 as a casual and has spent the last 17 years working full-time with the company. He's a trucking identity in these parts and hugely respected for his ability behind the wheel, and he and his Freightliner end up doing the most trips on the day. Some of the rigs were diverted to drag wool off the island from another farm. Jonesy took up the slack. The road is narrow and precipitous in places, and a mistake could see a truck cartwheel hundreds of metres to the sea below. This is about as unforgiving a road as you could find, and there is little in the way of a margin of error. A 300-tonne bulk superbin had been built many years back at the airstrip, and T&L started hauling to it in 1983 when Norm Duggan, T&L's Rye Valley branch manager of the day, instigated this operation. Now the annual trip is a highlight of the driving year for the T&L drivers, but a trip that still has to be carefully choreographed and one that relies on good weather and steady driving. It's a short trip, but a torturous one, and while the nor'wester may be a curse to work in, it's drying out the track remarkably quickly, and yesterday's marginal conditions are now becoming drier by the minute. The difference between the lush pasture of the northern end of the island is in stark contrast to the barren and windswept highlands. But wherever you are on the island, breathtaking seascapes dominate the view. It wasn't the best day for filming that we've ever had. We got blown around a fair bit, but at least the T&L boys got the fert drop away, despite the weather.